Hey everybody, how you doing today? I'm on the PTB for once. I know I almost never do this. I should probably start doing this every single time it comes around, just so I can test some of the newer stuff. I'll be playing mostly Killer, simply because I want to try out the freaking Goop Cannon here, Mr. Goopington. It was actually kind of fun to play. I got a couple matches in against pure bots, and that was pretty good. I have noticed that they've overtuned the bots a little bit when it comes to his ability a little bit. They know immediately what you're doing. They know immediately exactly where you are, all that kind of stuff instantly, which is a little annoying. Also, hey Flamer, hey Bunta, hey Ivy, how y'all doing today? Yeah, this is the stock skin. He actually looks really good. Like, this is what the Skull Merchant should have been. And how terrifying that she should be. I can't imagine this guy coming at me. I would not like that. I would feel terrified. It's hard to slipstream. The bots at least. It happens like snapping your fingers though if you do get it off. Nah, take your time, man. No rush. But yeah, this is the stock skin for him. I've experimented just a tiny bit with the build. And the one that I want to try here is this one. So running Force Hesitation means that if anybody's being super altruistic or anything like that, it'll mess up teams like that left and right. This is such a powerful ability. The only thing I'm scared of with Force Hesitation is that it's going to be used by people who just want to, like, camp. Because at the end of the day, it'd be extremely strong for that. That's a 15% movement speed, just instant break. That lasts for 10 seconds. Someone's getting hit. There's no way to avoid getting hit with that high of a penalty. So it's kind of problematic. At least once people know you have this, they'll be able to avoid it to a degree. But when it comes down to certain killers that are very, very good at hard camping and keeping everybody in one spot, I think people are going to abuse this as much as possible. I'll be running genetic limits because this penalizes people for healing in a very interesting way by giving them exhausted for 32 seconds. Which is nice, actually. I appreciate this one. And the reason I appreciate this particular effect is because if I am applying pressure properly, I'll run into somebody before 32 seconds is up, which means that they won't have their ability to dead hard. They won't have their ability to sprint burst. They won't have their ability to lithe or anything like that. They'll be limited, and it'll make them easier to catch in general, especially while coupled with slipstream, because it doesn't matter if they're a decent bit off from me. If I can slipstream to them, they're screwed. This guy will excel massively when it comes to chasing. Absolute monster. I tried play with your food to give speed boosts and stuff like that, and it looks like that could work okay, but I've always been bad with play with your food, so if somebody's better while utilizing play with your food and building stacks, you might get a lot of value with this particular guy. I'm not sure if shooting the cannon counts, as I'm not sure if it counts as an attack in general, though, so be very aware of that. I also tried stacking Game of Foot here to see that when he teleports, if he teleports underneath a pallet and gets hit by a pallet, it breaks that pallet. So I was trying to see if Game of Foot will trigger off of that pallet being shattered in that specific way, and it doesn't seem to take that effect into consideration. So I don't think you get the 5% haste status while doing that. Then again, I wasn't paying full attention with who I was chasing, so I might have not even been chasing the Obsession bot. Hey, Rise. Well, how you doing, Michael? Changing your name. You guys are gonna start confusing me again. And then Sloppy's just a staple because he does all of his damage with basic attacks. Oh yeah, you right. I gotta bring the Mori so I can start Moriing people. I haven't tried any add-ons yet, so we'll see what we get away with on that. 2 extra bipods. Overclock mode duration increased by 25%. What does the overclock mode actually give? Walls and pallets can be destroyed faster. Vaulting speed is faster, and you cannot be stunned by pallets. Attempts to stun by pallet merely remove overclock mode and momentarily slow the singularity. Yeah, every time you slipstream to somebody, you get this effect, and I don't know how long it lasts, but it lasts a good while, and it's very strong. Yeah, take whatever you want, man. Let's see. Reboot timer when the EMP affects the biopods is reduced by 15%. That could be super helpful. One thing that sucks is that the EMP effect on these things lasts for like 30 seconds, 30, 40 seconds, something like that. I don't know. The bots were EMPing me left and right. I couldn't keep Slipstream on anyone. It just didn't happen. It just did not happen at all. Look at the goop on his shoulder. You know what that goop reminds me of? It reminds me of the Phazon from the Metroid Prime series. But I'm sure that most people don't know what the Phazon even is. Are the bots set up? Yeah, the bots should be set up. I really like the idea of this killer. I haven't tried his map in particular. I've also noticed that it's very easy to hide from his drones. For some reason, if you're even ever so slightly hidden, it doesn't scan you properly for some reason with the biopods. I don't know if that's another issue like what you have with Ghostface at times. But it's interesting to say the least. The best basic strategy that I found with him is apply a pod to every single generator that you can at first, and then start zoning people out as best as you can. They're super quick to fire. It doesn't slow you down. It feels really nice. It feels extremely nice. Like this is probably the best like formulation I've seen them do when it comes to a killer ability. It doesn't feel limiting in any regard. It doesn't feel broken either. It's easy enough to get rid of that, you know, survivors can bypass it. The only thing it really gives is a massive amount of information. Did you all spawn over there? Did everybody spawn over there? Jesus. I do think he'll have a weakness for bigger maps, though. Because the only way for him to get travel time is via Slipstream. And that guy's probably over here. Yeah. Perfect distance? Perfect distance? Yeah, alright. Jesus, man. Perfect distance every single time? Whee! Oh, that slowed me down. See, even though I had the scan, technically, it just didn't work. Hey, buddy! Come back. Don't run away. I just want to scan you. He's kind of slow to get things working, though. And you're practically guaranteed to have bots knowing exactly where you are, which pod you're using and stuff, so that makes it problematic in that regard, too. Ooh, I can't get anywhere right now. Moontrap? It's an AI of some kind. Whoop. Pew, pew. I kind of just want to shoot the cannon everywhere. Oh, I can't put it on that. Why am I at the wrong one? Yeah, see, he got hit by it, but it's already gone. Maybe the tree blocked it. I didn't even think about that. You stop! Get back here! Take your goop! See you, flamer. See you over there. Get back here! Face your demise! Look at me. There's so many surfaces that you can't put it on, though. I think that's one of the few things that bugs me. Like, just let me put this on any surface. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a goop ball. It's not gonna hurt nothing for it to be on the floor. It's not gonna hurt nothing for it to be on the ceiling or walls effectively or anything like that. And the reason I say that is because it can walk through it. It can't physically block anybody. It's literally just a goo ball. Oh, hey, there's Vittorio. Whee! The EMP is extremely strong, though. I think the EMP probably needs a little bit more of a cooldown on it. Or some form of mitigation for the killer in some way. Because it's just this... You're pretty much constantly going to get EMP'd in a match like this with bots. But they're also afraid of the eyeballs as much as they're afraid of you, which is kind of weird. And they know exactly what position you're in and stuff like that as well. Are you gonna EMP? You gonna spam EMP? Spam P? I ain't going after you, flamer. Why would I do that? I'm here to fire goop. Hey! 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 Get out of here! Are you gooped? Yeah, so this is the bad part. He officially can't get away from me. There's nothing he can do at this point. Literally nothing. Your Xbox is still down. I'm sorry. How, can you get the 96%? What's he talking about? Can you get on the PTB? Is that like a thing? Bro, I was screwing around here way too much. That one's good. I'm sure the bots are over here and have this generator at 99%. And goop. So also the EMP doesn't destroy the eyes. The only thing that the EMP actually does to the eyes is it disables the ability to slipstream people. Which is kind of weird. I didn't mean to do that. I fired a second goop. Oh, hey, there's one. How you doing, bot? Come back. I need to goop at you. Where'd you go? Come back. You're injured. What? Sometimes it's like their pathing just absolutely breaks. But yeah, I'll go into real games after this. I just wanted to kind of get more of a feel for the killer and showcase a little bit of how he plays. I like how they're not doing anything to pull you off. Like at all. They're doing nothing. They're just gonna let you die on the... There it goes! It's the W away strategy, man. I wonder if standing there while using an eye from the other side would actually physically block that. Ow! Let's see if I can do this. Lag? Out of nowhere? Interesting. Stop, bot! Stop! I need to slipstream you! He won't go where I need him to go. He won't go to the places that I need him to go. There we go. And now he can't escape. So I could chase him all day with this. And there's nothing he could do about it. So let's rush him over here. So we go to this good spot. Broken pallet. All it takes is a slight bit of line of sight. And I can break everything he can do. And get a huge speed boost out of it as well. It's kind of crazy. It's also supposed to come back here. Eat your daily goop. That's right. You have nothing. Nothing but goop. There's nothing but goop left for you. Run. Run! Also gather that the EMP, I think, still stacks. The EMP stacks in its own little, like, thing, like the tapes from Sadako. So, I could be wrong on that. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. Are the bots not doing generators all of a sudden? I figured the match should have been over by now. I've been screwing around way too much. See, it's EMP'd, and that'll last for a freaking century. And I won't be able to actually do anything about it. So this is the only one the bots are working on for some reason. It's the David! There he goes! He's fleeing! Come back, bro. You're not letting me slipstream you. You're making this difficult. You're making this too difficult. I need to slipstream you. He went back! Stop it! Boop! The more I play with it, though, the better I get at that. Let's see here. So, he's got a good bit of distance on me right now. Wait, that hit him, though! I saw that impact him. What? Get gooped! Stop it. Stop it, bot. I need you to behave so that I can just end you right now. He's all the way back here again. Ah. I'm not good with these out-of-body kind of designs. What? Alright, man. It's time.
It will be fast, possibly painless. Please.
He injects goop into brains! Ugh. Probably one of the most brutal ones.
Better do now.
Why do I keep hitching like this? What's going on here?
Weakened and inferior.
Keep going, keep going. You got caught in the wall! I think you're out of EMP now. I have no idea how much you can actually use the EMP. And overclock boost, so that I can catch up quicker. Alright, come on, Flamer. Let's go get Yoichi! I saw him over here in the corner! Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Yoichi! Where are you? Yoichi! Did he go into the locker? Did Yoichi go into the locker? No? Go infect everyone with Slipstream. Oh, there he is. I'm still not quite sure exactly what I would want to run with this guy. He's very good at like information and stuff like that. I wish I didn't lose Aura Sight on my goop balls. And even if I do goop him, he would immediately just like destroy it because he's got an EMP. Because everybody has an EMP on this. It might have been something that, it might be something that actually needs limited in some regard. Flamer! Don't be over here saving bots. Maybe I didn't give enough credit. No. I'll give you what you want. I know you want a Mori. Everybody needs a good old Mori. Here you go. It's a good spot for it too. Look at that. Mori time!
Possibly painless.
Oh.
Guy. Please. It is over.
He has such a brutal Mori. And the bot just abandoned everybody. Where am I? Where was the other gate? Oh, the other gate's literally cross map. I wonder, do the bots do the same thing as players? And just kind of stand around in the gate waiting for freedom? No, he's out here somewhere. Surprising. I didn't think the bot would actually go for that rescue. You think I could time him out? I mean, here's Yoichi, but I don't know where the other bot went. Dun 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 dun. Let's get this over with. Come on, Yoichi, I gotta put you in a good spot.
Secure here. It will be fast. Possibly painless. Die. Fast. Please. It is over.
That's such a nasty Mori, dude. Oh. Did that bot just teabag at me? Really? Is that really something you should be programming behavior? Is it trying to push for the gate? Yeah, that's one of the things that's super annoying with it. So they know through walls what you're doing. So if I do try and switch to the drone in any manner, They know. They immediately know. They immediately have presence on that. And there's really nothing I can do about it. So they just have this instant reaction to anything that I do with this particular character. Bye, buddy. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Pew, pew, pew. Can I mark him with this? No? Oh, he's just considered dead. Fine. I need chocolate. Overall, I think it'll work really, really well. One of the biggest issues that he was going to run into is bigger maps. And even though he's got a lot of surveillance, he still has to walk there unless he's got everybody slipstreamed. And the ease of destroying slipstream with EMPs kind of puts him at a disadvantage in that regard. Because once everybody knows the basics of, oh, I need EMPs, they're just going to EMP him constantly. It's going to be a mess. I don't know what the cooldown are for the EMPs and stuff like that. And obviously I'm not playing very well with him. But it's going to be something that's going to be need a little bit of work. Yeah. All right, let's switch. I want to see what it's like from the Survivor end anyway. Let's see, what do I want to run? Do I have anything good? Rebecca! Oh, that's a Jin kit. That's a Jin survival kit. Yeah, let's just run whatever. I don't really care at this point. I don't have access. I don't have access to any of the stuff from the other. What? I purchased her. I should have access to her. What are his 3 perks? Troubleshooter, made for this, and scavenger. So, oh no! How many perks? I forgot to switch the other guy and use his 3 main perks. I wanted to test that out.
I'm on it.
One thing I'd like to see changed is I'd like for his ability, I'd like for him shooting people with his goop to very slowly infect them with slipstream. And the reason I want that is because it's kind of difficult to keep it going, and it's only really going to work against people who don't know how to counteract him, who don't have an EMP, who don't know what they're doing, who are just constantly like running around, because you can get rid of it practically instantly. I mean, you saw what Flamer was doing there. It's practically instantly just dropped. Once you get an EMP device, you're in a good shape, and there's nothing that you really need to worry about. Come on! I think it holds its own slot, too. Where did you go, Monster Man? Are you beating up that poor bot? The bot didn't do nothing to you. He's a pacifist. You firing the goop? I better go save this bot before it explodes. I wonder what the other bot's doing. I can't do anything. What? Are you forcing those poor potato bots into a corner? Oh, neat. Need to fire more goop charges.
Vision laid out.
And gone. So they only work once. But you can get them back pretty quick. So they're not too bad. Not gonna make that one. Yeah, there's no way. I was slightly too far away from where I needed to be. No. The killer is Plamer. Giving a little bit of testing with how it is. I don't think there's bot killers yet. At least not officially. I'm gonna die on hook. The bots aren't doing anything. There's two of them literally running in circles across the map. I like how when I was killer, the bots were going out of their way to finish generators as quickly as possible. But now that I'm survivor, the bots aren't doing anything. If you sign yourself up for the PTB beta, yeah, you should be able to join. You'd have to download some information from their servers, though. So, it might take you a little bit to actually jump in. God, why are the bots when I'm playing the Survivor just absolutely completely brain dead? Whereas when Plamer was playing, they were rushing gens. I'm not sure. I'll look it up as soon as this is over. I plan on playing some real matches soon too. Be free! There's some weird thing. I don't know if when I'm holding an EMP I can't heal or something. But I don't seem to be able to heal any of the bots. And I don't know if that's a factor of the EMP or what. Let me try now. Let me put down that EMP and see if I can heal. If this bot will stop running. Oh my god! Where'd my EMP go? Is it just gone now? Do they just disappear? What? What? I have to say though, I don't think I've seen any real pressure, particularly from the killer's ability here. He's gonna mori him. Oh. Oh no! I've been gooped! Oh no! I'm cured! Ah! Really kind of stupid. It's super easy to just carry an EMP and wreck everything the killer's trying to do without any effort whatsoever on this one. And they're constantly respawning too. There's so many of them being printed. So Plamer could just like hit me with that every like 20 seconds and I would just EMP it and it'd be gone. He also won't be able to shoot through a lot of things, nothing like that. You can accelerate the printing of the EMP thing too. I think they expected people to get the I think they expected people to be able to slipstream this killer to be able to slipstream practically instantly, and he just can't. Like, it's quick to slipstream in general, but you're not ever going to permanently maintain slipstream on people. The EMPs are too easy to get. It's kind of crazy that they thought this was reasonable. And look, even the bot instantly destroys it. Done. Problem solved. No EMP. Well, not no EMP. No goop. I don't know. I think that these need to be limited like all the other killers. And I'll just... Yeah, see, it's gone. Hey, buddy. How you doing? There's just really not much that can be done to keep it going. And the boxes are all shown to you across the map. So I've got another one here. Alright, I have an EMP. I don't know, man. They disable the ability for the cameras to even apply slipstream, but there's still knowledge, so I guess that's okay in regards to that, but it's sort of a weird thing. I don't know. I mean, if it's taking my potato brain that little time to realize how overpowered the EMP system is and how easily I can just disable whatever he's doing, I don't know. I feel like pretty much anybody can figure it out quickly. I don't even know why I'm doing this generator. I was gonna test out the new character with specifically just his perks, but I've ended up screwing that up by not switching, but being ready. And even here, I don't even have to worry about this. Say Flamer slipstreams me right here. I just EMP it and I go over there and I grab another one. Am I like hearing him switch between cameras or something? Is that what that is? Hey buddy, how you doing? How you do? Oh, you can't see me. How about now? Haha! Are here! Oh, that one got EMP'd by Yoichi. Ah! Oh no! I'm gonna get gooped on! Ah! It's gone. I'm free. I was so scared there for a second. I thought he was gonna catch me. You know what? There's no way that I'll find another EMP in a short amount of time. I mean, there's no way they'd let me do that. Oh my God! What is this? I'm so lucky. It's like there's 40 boxes of these across the map, and they spawn super quick. Ah! I'm gooped again. All right, problem solved. I'm just saying, it feels like it would take a really, really bad player. Like someone who just has no idea how to play anything. Someone who, it's like their first game. That would be the only person who would actually just get wrecked by this. Literally just following me around, gooping me, and I have an EMP cannon. I have an EMP. By the way, this one that I used first, it's almost done. So all I have to do is sit here for a few seconds, and congratulations, I have another EMP. I've been running in a circle this entire time. Oh, the bot's got a generator done. Surprising. Sup, bro? How you do? I'm escaping. Look at me escaping. Look at me doing the run. Don't touch me. Ah! Ah! Wait, we gotta crawl over here so you can get the Mori. That area is open really, really good. Ugh. 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 I gotta crawl. I gotta crawl good. I gotta do the good crawl. There you go. That should be a really good one. Are you okay there? God, that is disturbing. I wouldn't want to see this around me.
It will be fast.
Oh!
Painless.
Oh no! Ah! Ah!
Please.
Ooh! Oh! Oh, that is so brutal. All right. They're not. Public test build. Oh, never mind. It says it's exclusive to the Steam version, so you wouldn't be able to join on console. I didn't know that. I thought you were able to join on any of them. Well, that sucks. I didn't know that was a thing. That's kind of BS. So you won't be able to actually join through Xbox. That's kind of stupid. Maybe on the PC though. Maybe on your guys' laptop. What do you want? Hello. Did I break? Oh, there we are. From what I can gather here, you won't be able to join on Xbox. But at the same,
saying it's Steam exclusive.
yeah. Which is kind of crappy, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'll just goop at random people then. Random gross people.
Lame.
I guess it would be a pain to have to basically double program everything for the PTB test and the regular one on everything.
The whole game is cross-platform, so why would they not be able to do the same thing with the PTB?
I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like that's something that they should do, but it is, yeah. That's just what they're doing right now, I guess. I'm gonna give a few actual games ago, and so I noticed one thing. It seems as a player you don't really know, and you're being examined by the goo balls until you're being slipstreamed. But the bots know the moment you jump into one of those eyeballs, which puts them at an advantage, and kind of sucks.
Bots.
Yeah, they're using their bot omniscience to know that you're to know ahead of time that you are in that eyeball.
Code vision.
Yeah, freaking sucks. So playing against players will be very, very different than playing against bots, I feel like.
Quite potentially.
All right, take care, Russ.
They got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop out to play some Call of Duty instead, since PTB's lame.
Gross. All right, man. Take care.
Later.
Ah! That's such a shame, dude. Let me get this off. I was really hoping I was going to be able to play with everybody, or at least give it a better go than that. I don't know much of what to do here other than just kind of play around with some perks for a little bit. I'll probably only do a few games. I don't want to just drag this one out. There's not much for me to do unless I'm going like hard into like metamancing his design and trying to figure out what I want to run against or with this character. So I'm just gonna play around a little bit and see what I can get away with. One of the things that I do want to try though is a basic attack build. So something specifically centered around him smackling people in the face. And the only thing I can think of for that is save the best, not the only thing obviously, but the thing I can think of for that is I'm going to run a sloppy butcher stack with, if I can find it, where's my sloppy butcher? It's probably a yellow tier, huh? No. Do I have purple sloppy? Save the best for last. Do I not have sloppy at all? I didn't think about that. Yeah, I just don't have it. Well, never mind for sloppy. I guess instead of running Sloppy, we can substitute... Ooh, actually... You guys think Franklin's would work well with him? Franklin's actually might be extremely powerful. That EMP that I hit when I hit that person, or when I put the EMP down as Rebecca, it seems like the EMP disappeared. So if I'm running Franklin's Demise, if it's capable of knocking EMPs out of people's hands, I don't know if it is or not. It might not be able to do that at all. But if it is, that's pretty terrifying, honestly. I need one other thing for this. You know, Plaything would probably be pretty good too. Bamboozle will definitely stop people from being able to do shenanigans on me. Let's give it a go. Let's just do this junk that I glued together to test things out and see what's happening. If I can even really get any matches. I wonder how many people actually play the PTB. If Behavior does need to expand this to consoles, that would drastically increase the PTB's player base, and people will be able to actually test things out a little bit better and have more fun with it. I feel like they would get a better sample size too when it came to trying to figure out specific perks and stuff like that. And that could really, really help in the long run for developing characters in a way that's not only fun, but not busted in certain ways. Like, if I just leave a death eyeball near every single generator, survivors aren't going to know that there's a death eyeball there. Or they're going to know there's a death eyeball there, but they won't know when I'm looking through it unless someone's calling me out. On the flip side of that, they also have an EMP every, like, 2 seconds. So they can EMP me out and completely prevent me from being able to slipstream them from pretty much every single eyeball for... It might even be 60 seconds. I'm not actually sure. I don't know the full interaction between the time frames for the EMP. Actually, hold on. Let me cancel that. I haven't been running any of his add-ons. When a survivor is slipstreamed, they hear the terror radius as if you were nearby. Slipstream spread between survivors 25% faster. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen slipstream spread to anybody at all. Not even once. I've never seen it spread. After successful slipstream teleport, your attacks inflict mangled status effect till the survivor is fully healed. Infection range between survivors increased by 2 meters. Maybe that will help? I don't know what the range of it is, but it doesn't seem to infect anybody at all. When a survivor becomes slipstreamed, exhausted, survivor who is cleansed of slipstream screams, interrupting their current action. When a survivor is slipstreamed, they hear the terror radius as if you were nearby. Wait, doesn't that other one do that? Or did no, never mind. That was the first one I read. After a successful slipstream teleport from a biopod, the target survivor suffers from the oblivious status effect for 60 seconds. At the start of the trial, EMPs take 30 seconds longer to generate. All survivors start the match slipstream. That's the one that I was thinking was going to be very, very strong. 5% haste after a successful slipstream teleport. Decreases the overclock duration by 50%. Reboot timer when the EMP affects the biopods is reduced by 15%. I don't feel like this one's going to be necessary. Honestly, I don't know why I don't have audio in the first place. That doesn't really make much sense. But after 0.5 seconds, they've already got the cover, so it's not really that big of a deal either way. More biopods! And let's see if we can get somebody to infect somebody else with the Android arm play. Maybe. I don't know if there will be very many people actually playing on the PTB, or if there's enough. Feels like something that I'd probably only come on here to play against bots. And maybe the occasional person to just kind of figure out exactly what's going on with it and see if we can get away with anything, any kind of shenanigans. Genetic limit, difficulty rating hard. I don't really think he's that hard. I just think it's super easy to get rid of his abilities. Don't care about the lore right now. Those are the perks. Where's the... Overclock mode lasts for 4.7 seconds after teleport and increases the action speed by 75%? Jeez, man. Oh, it was 60 seconds. I think that's too long. I think that's way too long. They need to half that. At the end of the day, this guy can't really do much in regards to being able to kind of apply pressure with Slipstream. If the Slipstream not only can't be applied for an entire minute from that particular biopod setup, it makes it where I have to constantly replace them, which doesn't even really matter because unless I'm replacing them faster than they get EMPs, when there's like 7 boxes creating EMPs, that's 7 EMPs every, what, like 30 seconds? Something like that? Supplies have it highlighted. Slipstream. Yeah, but how long does it take? Post EMP disable duration. Aura linger duration of last controlled pod, 5 seconds. The biopod is considered to be removed when aiming at it. Spawn range of 22 meters. He's got a 22 meter shot? Woo! Projectile speed is 50 meters a second. Teleportation. Automatic EMP printing duration is 80 seconds, but it can be sped up. After the first set's done, that's 7 times they can EMP you though. So first the survivor starting the printing process, but then not continuing to interact with supply case. EMP printing duration modifier when interacting with it is ×4. So if someone's messing with the printer trying to get it to print faster, then it reduces the time that it requires to print an EMP to 20 seconds. Which means that realistically, if there's at least one survivor grabbing an EMP, they can get an EMP every 20 seconds. While having a base total supply of 7. That means that if everybody just replaces an EMP once if everybody just pushes out an EMP once a match, that means they have a minimum of 14 EMPs that are going to be on the map, because it's going to print 80 seconds isn't very much time for it to just print a single one. And everybody can see these boxes too, so they don't have to be wary of where they are. They can just immediately print them. I think the area of effect could be halved for it, and it wouldn't be nearly as bad. It should also be like a cone. Not a cone, a cylinder. If it was a cylinder going straight up instead of a bubble, I think it'd be better. That means that no matter where I put a pod, because I can put pods high up, and they seem like they would be outside of the bubble range in a lot of areas. So I could still get away with some stuff by putting the pods extremely high up, but then they don't affect Slipstream very quickly. So it's a catch where I'm still not able to apply Slipstream in a reasonable speed, but at the very least I can apply Slipstream. I don't know. Anti-camping restriction. Restricted range is 10 meters. Linger duration is 5 seconds. Spreading distance is 6 meters on the Slipstream. So people have to be within 6 meters of each other. With the add-on that I have, that's 8 meters now. And it takes 2 seconds before it even starts spreading. I don't know. I would just make it immediately start spreading. At the end of the day, just make it immediately start spreading. The whole point is being able to spread it, and if you're going to make it extremely easy to get rid of, make it extremely easy to get as well. That way we have this constant cycle of people working against or with it. Because I'm sure somebody's going to be running around with this as bait at some point. Because I've noticed that if you're over a vault point or something like that, that's not a pallet, like a window, you can still get the Singularity to teleport to the window and actually be on the window, not having ability to get you. Biggest thing I can see that would make it very, very powerful to have somebody slipstreamed regardless is if they were able to run into the if you were able to bait them into the shack. Because if you slipstream and then you stack this, Bamboozle obviously, which is one of the better perks for stopping loops like that, then you can immediately pin somebody out. And if they go inside to try and use that vault again, not paying attention, they'll notice it's blocked, and then you just slipstream to them again, and they're gone. They have nothing going for them. This cuts the freaking slipstream cuts so much distance. I understand that it's disgustingly powerful, but it just doesn't feel like I can apply it in a reasonable manner. And when I do apply it, 90% of the time, it's getting EMP'd once people know how to counter it. Even the bots are almost perfectly countering it. So I can't really do anything with that. It relegates the chase ability that the killer has to nothing but information. And that kind of sucks, because the biggest part of this is to gain an advancement. Because we're on the PTB. I might have to switch back to bots to start testing things, honestly. I don't know if there are even any survivors playing. I'm sure most of the people who are playing are trying to test out the Singularity. Because at the end of the day, a survivor's just a skin, right? You don't really need to worry about what a survivor's doing. And since you guys can't join me, I can't make a custom match or anything like that out of it either. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I wanted to test with players, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to. Yeah. Oh, it's not bad. It's not too bad, Jordan. Alright, so this is the build I'm going to run with then. We're taking Save the Best for last because recovery speed actually helps out a lot with this guy, considering the chase potential he has. Franklin's Demise to see if I can knock EMPs out of people's hands, because if I can, then that could actually massively change the game. This might be a must-have on him if I can knock EMPs out of people's hands. Jolt, just because he only basic attack downs, so Jolt is a good generator slowdown. And then Bamboozle to break loops. Don't you T-Rex at me. The biggest issue is that the bots are going to automatically know the moment I join a biopod or jump in a biopod. So there's not really much that I can do to counteract that. And I'll be sure to Mori several of them so I can give everybody nightmares with melting faces. What, puppy? What, pooper? What are you doing? Saw you looking over there. Watch. You might not get treats during this stream. I don't think it's going to last the same length like usual. Well, high five? No? Haha! My Mori of death. My memento mori. So I can see this guy working really well with heal penalty builds, just because constant knowledge on people is really nice. I can see him working really well with chase builds because pallets mean nothing to this guy. This guy's actually probably worse against pallets than the nurse is. At least for the nurse, it's extremely telegraphed. But if I slipstream somebody and I can actually chase them for a good duration, it's kind of insane. I'll see if I can slipstream somebody super quick. Okay, game. Never mind then. I won't put that biopod where I wanted to put it. Ah! The biggest problem with this game is going to be their hitboxes. When it comes to a character that's designed specifically to shoot stuff, their hitboxes are going to be a problem. They also don't give me very many good marks of where I can actually shoot this thing. See, I should have been able to put that up there. Like, that should have been able to be put up there. They also should let me build up Slipstream by shooting people with the goop. Not quickly, obviously, but just let me build up some Slipstream with the goop, please. Yeah, so she's out of range even though I can see her. I don't think that should be a thing either. Or at least the range should be very, very high. Like Ghostface and stuff like that, where it's extremely high range. I just feel like I spend too much of my time worrying about setting up the goop traps than actually resolving things. And the bots are like almost a perfect counter to this particular killer, to the point to where it's just not fun to deal with this. Yeah, see, this one's disabled. And the disabling lasts for 60 seconds. That one's disabled too. And when they're disabled, I can't do anything. They're just a camera. Which arguably isn't a bad tool, but it'd just be really, really nice if they weren't disabled 99% of the time. And that the bots didn't run the absolute instant I come within any kind of range whatsoever. That's not something that players actually do. I wonder if they know that I can break pallets by them, Oh, there's also this. So, I take this lady, and when I put her on a hook, it destroys the slipstream effect. So, in a way, I'm getting punished for hooking somebody. And that actually really sucks. You have a certain amount of them that you can apply. And then it does like the hag does, where it just recycles what you're doing. I also wish I just could roll the mouse wheel to switch between cameras. Like, being able to cycle the mouse wheel would be great. Oh, that's right, that camera's busted. Really? Really? Perfect. 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 That's really fun to go against. Nice bots. They avoided the camera. Notice that they're somehow hidden here too, where I can't slipstream them. Why do all of them have flashlights? And why are they perfect with them? What the hell? That's not even slightly reasonable. What idiot thought that was a good design for the bots? They just know everything I can do, and they automatically react before I even move. Look at this. I've been able to apply one slipstream because of this. That's super frustrating.
Waiting for this.
God. It relegates this guy to a freaking like mouse one killer. I can't do anything else 90% of the time. Yeah, camera disabled. They're already running. I jumped to the camera and they're running. Alright, there's one. Are they gonna EMP? No? Where'd she go? See, you can break that loop super easy with this guy. I never get the grab! Why, game? Where you going? Like, I get that he's extremely hard to get away from if you get a hold of the, Oh, there's a hook. But Jesus, man. Some of this stuff... Yeah, the bots are... Like, it's basically making it impossible to properly test this guy. Because the bots know too much. And that's just not fun to deal with. Along with the cameras being something that gets disabled constantly. Yeah, that one's disabled, by the way. Did they hop? I know I gave one of them Dance With Me, so that would make sense. Yeah, like this too is kind of BS. Where they know exactly which camera I'm on. Oh, now I get a grab! I don't know if I'm knocking EMPs out of hands or not, to be honest with you. Why don't I have a cooldown on hopping to the cameras? And the whole point of the camera is so that I can actually get vision on things. There's Rebecca. Oh, they're like all over here. Seriously? So it's that one, and that one, and they got a good loop. No, they got it. Nope. Frustrating, man. Well, I don't really care about even downing all the bots. It's just them instantly reacting to everything I do. Having a bypass for everything I do is super frustrating. Oh, they opened this gate? They basically had a perfect out to everything. And now Hattie's not gonna have, like, any kind of, Oh, come on. I basically lose my slipstream. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this. Why'd they abandon? I think it's too easy to counteract his abilities. I think it's way too easy to counteract his abilities. I haven't really tested the Survivor, but that's something that I just really cannot effectively do at the moment. But yeah, that one, I don't even know if Franklin's demise was effective there. I genuinely have no idea because I wasn't able to test it. I don't know what the heck's happening with that. I'm assuming that it'll work because it is an item in hand, but I don't think I ever caught one of them having an EMP because the bots immediately go over. See, the bots don't even, like, time out the EMPs. They have access to so many EMPs, they don't even have to worry about it most of the time. So they'll see cameras that aren't EMP'd, and they'll immediately go and EMP them. They're working on a generator. They'll EMP any of the cameras nearby. And then they'll just go grab a new one when they take off and stop working on the generator. So it's super easy for them to just constantly get EMPs. Which is a bad sign for how easy it's going to be to deal with this guy and how hard it's going to be to apply slipstream when I have to have literal perfect vision on them to fire the slipstream cannon thing. I can actually slipstream through the biopods too, but that's significantly harder to do and requires a duration of lock-on, which I can't effectively do either because there's almost never someone who's slipstreamed. It's just, it's awkward to use, I'd say. That's just universally useful, so that doesn't really tell me anything about the character as itself anyway, so... Let's try dropping Franklin's and Jolt and see if we can get away with something else that's a little bit weird. This one's fairly strong, but I don't know how effective it'll be on the bots. And as cool as the ability to look through a bunch of cameras is, I think that this guy's ability is better, is outclassed by aura reading. Like, just straight up outclassed by aura reading. When it comes to surveillance, aura reading's better. When it comes to applying Slipstream to get his actual, like, chasing effects and stuff like that, it gets outplayed by just getting EMP'd every 5 seconds because there's a million EMPs on the map. I'm sure they'll change that to some degree, but we'll see. I haven't tried machine learning yet. The problem with this is it requires me to let generators get completed, and I don't know how I feel about this. It only lasts for 30 seconds, so if you're extremely good at controlling the field, you might be able to pull it off, but I don't think it's going to be useful in that regard. Let's try stacking some aura read. Let's try stacking some aura read. Let's do this. This is definitely an extremely good perk for him, though. And with Hindered, that could work out very well, too. And since we won't have Franklin's, we'll see if they start popping off more of the EMPs. I do really wish I could have been able to play against players, though. That would have been nice. What does this do? Biopod is created again. Killer instinct and survivors within 6 meters of that biopod. A maximum height of 5 meters. I don't know why that has a height limit on it. It should just be, again, a cylinder. There's no sense in bothering about the height because there's so few areas where the height's even going to matter that much with 6 meters as the zone. Ugh. I know I'm playing poorly and it's against bots of all things, but yeah. I'm trying to use the ability and not be relegated to just basic attacks. Being relegated specifically to basic attacks means that I'm not actually testing the character out very well. It's just not. If the ability doesn't work on the bots effectively because they know where I'm at, constantly know where the camera's at, immediately detect the camera, there's nothing I can really do. Like, it would be different if they reacted the moment that they were targeted. That would make a lot more sense. But they don't react like that. They react the absolute instant you change to the camera. Someone has distortion. That was a good initial. Oh, she just took off. Corner? Oh, that didn't help me at all. I don't know if they've adjusted the bot's reaction either. But it seems like they're reacting to me a lot quicker than they usually do. Maybe it's because I have the shooty shoots. Maybe that's it. Maybe because of the goop cannon, they react at a distance because they know they can get hit. And there goes my slipstream. And keep in mind, this is just my initial feel of the killer and the survivors. My mind will probably change later down the line, but we'll have to see. A locker? At this point, I do kind of wish I could just teleport to the biopods themselves. Yeah, she's watching me. Through the floor. The bot's watching me, and that's frustrating. It's crap. That's straight up crap. So I could have perfect tracking on here and the bots would know where I'm at 90% of the time. And also instantly react to everything that I'm doing with this particular killer. Which is frustrating to say the least and doesn't really create a good test bed. God, why are they so fast today? And she immediately impeded. Nice. That's fun. Oh, that angle's awful. And again, I don't know why I can't put them on the ceiling and stuff. Let me put them on the ceiling. Let me do weird stuff. Let me put these everywhere. I don't know why I'm so restricted. That one's not touched. Alright, one of them's heading this way, so they're going for the save. Yeah, see that? Instant reaction. Why am I lagging? Whoa! They put us on the backup servers? They should at least let me destroy the EMPs. If they're gonna put 1,000,000 of them everywhere. I don't know why I'm hitching so bad. That's super weird. Okay, that's another really crappy spot. I'm so used to escape being how to get out of cameras and stuff like that, and it's just not that here. Who am I chasing? There's literally no one here. I want her to infect somebody else. But she'll probably just destroy that before she does. And even if she does infect somebody else, they'll probably just break it. They'll probably just EMP. Oh. I guess I'll just take you down then. Huh. And it's busted. Nobody. That's so gross. There's just a corpse there. Let's see if the bots are trying the locker trick again. No? I have so many pods. Those 2 extra pods actually add up pretty quick. That's the save, so that's at least 2 of them down there. Did I crash? No. Oh, I forgot that I had the DVD thing up from yesterday. This is useless. 0. Let's 0 this out. Done, and then turn it off because it doesn't matter for the PTB stuff. Why, did something happen? Really? 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 God, that is so frustrating. Well, thank you, Jordan. I'm glad we're getting somewhere. We're doing the climb. Only 100 more and we'll break the 1K barrier.
Stop blabbering. It's really annoying.
Alright, that's a good one. Yeah, no, I was hitching really, really bad there. I don't know what the heck was going on with that. I think it's the server that we're running on or something like that. Yeah, look at that. So I went out of my way to make sure that I could get a double infect there. Doesn't matter. That double infect meant nothing. It just got erased because all they had to do was cheesily EMP it and it's just gone. So all the effort that I put into that, trying to get them slipstreamed and stuff, it's gone. I don't know. I think this killer will be fun. But I think they're going to take so much to work on. So much effort to actually get some payoff. Unless they change how this works, obviously, because we're in the PTB. But it just takes so much extra to work on that we might not be able to... We might not be very good at applying the pressure necessary. Because these bots might be doing very, very good. But they're, this kind of efficiency isn't something out of the ordinary. Like, there are a lot of players who will match this. And what do you mean? You can't avoid the EMPs. You literally cannot avoid the EMPs. Those are entirely centered on how the survivors play. Notice, I goofed her. Instantly cured. Instantaneously cured. My slipstream is useless. It's literally a worthless ability at the moment. It really does. They could do so much to make it function without being broken. I don't know. That one's EMP'd. Yeah, right here. I got EMP'd again there.
This is better.
And when I down somebody and I put them on the hook, I'm punished by the slipstream being destroyed, instead of them having to EMP it.
Such a
It's just...
form of existence.
I hope so. Like, it's not entirely terrible. And I get that they didn't want it to be, like, disgustingly oppressive in all scenarios. But unless you're extremely good with this ability, it's going to be very, very hard to use. I have to lock on for like 2 seconds. I have to precisely point at my pods 90% of the time. A lot of areas where I could hook them up don't work properly. I can't put them on the floors. I can't put them on the floors. I can't put them on the freaking ceiling. Odd to say the least. The bots react to every single pod like it's a killer. It's just... I don't know. So on the bot end, the bots should only react to the pods if they're marked. Because that's what players are going to do. Players don't know. Like players aren't gonna just magically know immediately if I'm looking at them or not. It just creates a very difficult to work with scenario. Hey, welcome back. Okay, the Hattie didn't go back into the thing. It learned. I know! Jordan told me. I'm happy. We're climbing. We're slowly getting there. We got 100 more to go, and then we'll be at the turning point. Who's over here? Who's doing things? That's me. They've really got to make it to where I can just scroll through my pods with the mouse wheel. Like up, down on the plus pad, scroll through it on the mouse wheel. Anything like that would make the pod so much easier to navigate with and useful. Having to constantly look at them like this, specifically? Yeah, that one's EMP'd. It's uncomfortable. To say the least, it's uncomfortable. I'm suspicious of these bots! They keep doing weird bot things and it throws me off. So this one's EMP'd for some odd reason, even though they're not even working on that generator. Yeah, look at that. They EMP'd it. That's so good!
Better to know.
Why'd the bot stop? Nope. Yeah, you can't. I don't know. When you're slipstreamed, you really can't get away. But with how it plays, you're almost never slipstreamed.
Minor alterations.
That one's good. That one's good. This is the one in the hallway facing Rebecca. That generator is completed? Navigating this is awkward. I'm not sure why the bot just sat there for that one, to be honest. I guess it couldn't figure out where to go. I can't teleport, but I can shoot. Let me shoot! No! Why is it hitting at those angles? I guess I'll just go and put Rebecca on the hook. I'm bad. Well, Fang.
Gene integrity, 43%.
What? No one's working on that. No one's working on that. No one on that. I've checked that one. I've checked that one. This one? Interesting. He might do best with a ton of knowledge. There's Hattie. Oh, that's not Hattie. That's Fang. Weird reaction. Got it! Yeah, I think this will be it, though. There's really not much more to do than to hope that they fix things. Or make things a little bit more comfortable. Oh, it's here. One particular thing that this guy actually excels at, though, is you can do that. And fire a goop ball. And then it literally is just a hop, skip, back and forth, hop, skip, back and forth. And they'll never... Yeah. There's nothing anyone can do about that. Probably has the best ability in game to guard gates. Like, hands down, best ability to break gates.
No longer has purpose.
It's Mori time! I forgot that I had the Mori!
It will be fast, possibly painless. Die. Fast. Please. It is over.
Ugh. Yeah, I have to say, overall, the killer's fun to play. But also very frustrating because they're super easy to counter. And the amount of counter that they have is ridiculous. There's practically no way, unless the, hold on, let me get out of here so there's not just a bunch of noise. There just seems to be practically no way to really create pressure for this character if the squad knows how to deal with you. Like, sure, you know where they're at, you can scan them and stuff like that, but your ability being able to basically be negated constantly and with minimal effort puts you in a situation where you're basically shut down at key points on the map, unless you're camping those key points. I just don't see him having much oppression without specific builds or playing in a very, very unsportsmanlike manner, you know? It is what it is, though. Hopefully we'll see some changes. Hopefully they'll reduce the amount of EMPs that spawn on the map and make those spawn a little bit slower, or maybe make it where survivors don't get them so disgustingly fast that you just get 5 billion of them in a time span of 20 seconds. Same thing for him. It might be good to put limiters, short distance limiters, on where he can put pods. Because like I just showcased there at the very end of that match, it's super easy to just put pods on both gates, detect both gates. The moment you see somebody on one of those gates, all you have to do is slipstream them and teleport to them. And if they're already slipstreamed, they're locked on and you're just going to teleport to them and finish them off no matter what. It makes him probably the best gate camper in the freaking game. On top of that, it would be, I don't know, I think they actually have a pretty good blockage on him being able to camp hooks. Because it, like, quadruples the amount of time it requires to lock on to either of the people who have been unhooked or who have been hooked. Or the people who are unhooking or have been unhooked take an excessively long amount of time to be marked. So unless they're really stupid and they just stand there and wait to be shot with the goop, then they're going to get away without being gooped. They're going to get away without being slipstreamed. I would also like if the slipstream didn't disappear on being hooked in the first place. Just simply because if they're going to make it so easy to get rid of and they're going to put so many things on the map for it to be gotten rid of, it makes no sense for it to be so hard to consistently apply while also destroying itself the moment that you hook somebody. That just creates a bunch of problems with him not being able to effectively apply his power. So, minor complaints here and there. I think they've done a pretty decent job overall, though. Some things might need tuned one way, some things might need tuned another way. Hopefully when it comes out to the main game instead of being on the PTB, it'll be nice and pristine, and we won't have to worry about anything in particular being out of place. As for... Wait, hold on. I don't need to go there. As for the perks, this one I see being very effective in general. Just, it punishes survivors' healing. And that's always a good thing to have. I don't think it'll be overpowered. 32 seconds isn't an insanely long time, but if you're using him with an anti-heal build and you have something like Nurse's Calling, or you just end up tracking people who are slipstreamed and stuff, you can do a lot with this. Keeping people from being able to use Life, keeping people from being able to use Dead Hard, keeping people from being able to use any of the defensive perks that they have to elongate a chase or just block your hit or anything like that are going to be just out of it. They're going to be SOL on that end. This one can be extremely powerful depending on the situation. 16 meters isn't an insane range, but if you get a hyper altruistic team and they all are standing around you trying to flashlight you and stuff like that, and you down somebody, someone's getting caught. Somebody else is getting caught, and there's nothing they can do about it. 15% hindered for 10 seconds means that you are going to catch somebody. There is nothing they can do unless there are like 3 pallets right next to you. And even then, if there are 3 pallets right next to you and you have somebody slipstreamed, you can just teleport into them with the slipstream and shatter those pallets if they decide to drop them. So I see that one being a very, very powerful effect that you can use to pretty much make it where altruistic teams are screwed completely. And it actually couples really well with genetic limits by causing people exhaustion when they're healing. If they're stacked together with the new meta of having to be able to heal your buddy instead of being able to heal yourself most of the time, this stacked with that means that if you're using these two with Nurse's Calling, constantly applying specific pressure to people who are injured, you can force them to constantly be exhausted while also making it to where anybody who's healing them ends up with an extreme hindered effect anytime you down somebody, which is really nice. As for machine learning, I've seen people talking this up a little bit, particularly Otts. I don't agree. I think this is a pretty rough perk overall. It has a huge benefit to it. Gaining undetectable and haste status 7% for 30 seconds is really, really nice. The problem is that it requires you to basically know the exact generator that is going to be completed and to pretty much let them complete the generator, which is a very, very valid tactic. I think it requires too much understanding of the situation and too much control, because if you have that level of control, you're probably going to win the match anyway, and you don't really need something giving you this kind of buff. You can simply use something else that will give you a buff during the duration of the entire match, instead of being stuck in a situation where you get this one temporary, albeit very powerful buff in the event they complete the generator that you were currently you had just currently kicked. Because if you kick a different generator, you don't get this buff anymore. Like, it only works on that one specific generator, so they have to complete that one specific generator to give you this buff. Unless the team's... A good team might trigger this once, and then immediately know what you're up to, and then start working on multiple generators across the map in an effective manner to where you can't ever possibly predict what one they're working on. And then they'll never complete the same generator that you just kicked, so that they can keep that cycle going. At least that's what I see at the high end. It would be very easy to counteract this particular perk and make it a wasted slot. And on the flip side, with Gabriel Soma,
There are really odd things about this place.
Troubleshooter. You see the R of the generator of the most progress, and you see the R of the killer for 6 seconds after dropping a pallet. It lasts for 10 seconds after being in chase. That seems like a pretty solid perk. That means that you can easily pin out whatever generator is in need of being completed the most, or whatever generator that the killer is really like focusing on at the moment, depending on the situation. It helps you have more knowledge of the map and makes it really easy to kind of pin out where you need to be if you're capable, if you're using your capabilities to understand what generator you need to deal with at a given time. Like, if in the situation with what I was just talking about with that other perk, machine learning, then you might not want to work on that generator. You might be like your team might have called out, oh, he's got machine learning, and instead of working on that generator, you now know to stay away from that generator, because that's a generator that he's going to be trying to trick you guys into completing. On the flip side, just dropping a pallet, seeing the killer's aura for 6 seconds, that is disgustingly powerful for in chase, because that's the equivalency of me using, Nowhere to Hide with Lethal Pursuer and kicking a generator and then chasing someone around a loop. it makes it so much easier to predict them. Now the survivors have something that's basically the equivalency of that. All that's easier to use, I'd say, but it gives you 6 seconds of R read on the killer, meaning that you can mind game them very, very easily with little effort in that regard. Especially considering the only time you're really going to drop a pallet is when you are in chase. There's no other reason to drop a pallet unless you're trying to distract somebody. Made for this, you run 3% faster, and after you finish healing another survivor, gain the endurance status effect for 10 seconds. That's pretty helpful in general. I could see that being used. That requires you to be injured to get 3% haste, but 3% haste makes it much easier to get away from a killer. Makes it much easier to outplay the killer when it comes to the speed aspect of the game in the first place. It might not sound like much right off the bat to most people, but 3% is a lot. Now, if you're at the end game scenario, you're injured, you have hope, then you don't have adrenaline, so you can't, like, say you don't have adrenaline, instead you took this. That means you have a 10% movement speed the entire time while you're injured. That makes you just as fast, if not faster, than a lot of killers. There are a lot of killers that move at 110%. You can run with them and they will never catch you. They literally have no way of catching you in that regard unless they get bloodlust, which requires 15 seconds of chase. If you're at the point where where hope is triggered and the gates are pretty much open, there's not very many killers that are going to catch you in that regard unless they're really, really good in chase. There's also the benefit of healing people and gaining the endurance status effect as a secondary thing for 10 seconds. Really helpful for abusing the fact that you're constantly in the injured state, because it allows you to cheese. It allows you to cheese some stuff. If you go a speed heal build while running this, on the flip side, not trying to utilize the 3% faster as much, you can run yourself and get heals on people very, very quickly using a med kit, and then body block for them without having any worries in the world. It's very good for defense, and it's very good for offensive running as well. So you've got a lot you can work with made for this. That's a pretty solid perk overall, I'd say. It might not be absolutely busted, but with conjunction with certain things, it can be very, very good in like healing builds or just runner builds. Woo! Yeah, we hit 900, man. All right. Needed a little water because I keep screaming at you guys. Now for Scavenger. This is the one that I see potentially having an issue. It succeeding at a great skill check while parrying gains 1 token up to 4. That's good. That's cool. You gain your tokens. Those tokens are used for the primary effect of this. When you reach the maximum tokens, lose all tokens, and automatically recharge your toolbox to full. That alone, it doesn't sound too awful, like too broken or anything like that. But it also has the benefit of being stackable with things like Built to Last. Having 2 full toolboxes in one, while having a very powerful toolbox in the first place, you can use something like Stakeout, as I've probably said before to freaking Zach and Jordan, and it's easy to abuse. Now, Built to Last requires you to sit in a locker for a few seconds, and then you get 99% of a toolbox back. This means that if you stack Scavenger with that, while also having freaking Taps perk, Stakeout, you can guarantee yourself the great skill checks whenever you want, and then you can also instantly fill up your toolbox once with that. And if you have a very, very powerful toolbox, that suddenly means that you're able to very quickly complete generators without having to worry about it at all. You can only use that once, but that's where Built to Last comes in. So you just go into a locker, you get 99% of that toolbox back again, and then you can do that again, get it back at 66%, and then 33%. And then after that, I think it zeroes out. It also allows you to rummage in a box, like Pharmacy does, and guarantees you a basic toolbox in that trial. And I think you can stack that with Ace's perk to get add-ons for toolkits, so you could get a basic toolkit with really good add-ons, while also keeping the add-ons when you leave the trial, resulting in you being able to farm add-ons for toolboxes while stacking Scavenger, Ace's perk, Built to Last, and Stakeout. So you'd be extremely fast at generators, even without having things like Prove Thyself or hyper focus or anything like that. You really wouldn't need those in that situation because your toolbox at minimum is going to be 100%. And then you just maximize the charges, and suddenly you're repairing like 90% of a generator with one toolbox, recovering said toolbox, repairing another 90% of a generator, recovering the toolbox again, repairing another 90% of a generator. And you can just repeat the cycle for an excessive amount of time, while also giving yourself the ability to get a brand new toolbox that's not going to be very good, but that you could stack on with good add-ons by using Ace's perk, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And if I am remembering correctly, you could get extremely high tier add-ons with that. That'll make it very, very good to repair with that particular toolbox. So, yeah. I don't know. I think gen rushing is already an issue. I think generators need to slow down by probably like 25%, 25 to 50% over the duration of the game, while also making it easier for survivors to actually like run and escape chases to a small degree, but not so easy that it results in people not being able to catch anybody ever. I don't know. I feel like matches need to last a little longer. And I feel like everybody needs to be able to actually play around and have a little bit of fun with the matches instead of it just being this super quick generators are getting done if you're not on people like freaking a fly on a wall, or flies on shite, I guess is the proper term. And on the other side, like if you guys aren't working on those generators that insanely fast, then the killer's probably taking you out left and right. It's too quick. I think the whole system's too quick, and this will actually speed that up quite a lot because nobody ever has to worry about running out of toolboxes anymore. But I'm done screaming at y'all. I know I've been screaming and doing stuff like this constantly, but that's just my take on this. Good. Good. Actually, this one's probably very good. I'd probably put that one in an S tier if I was going to tier these. I'd put this one at a probably high A, maybe, just because of the effectiveness of 3% run speed means that you're going to outrun people a lot easier, especially if you're running something like Life. When you're injured, you just have pure benefits from this. The only problem with it is that you can't use it while suffering from exhaustion, but it doesn't trigger exhaustion. So unless the killer has some way of triggering exhaustion on you, this perk just works. It just do the thing. It do the deed. So I put that in A. I'll probably be trying out this perk when it runs off the PTB. And that perk, it could be very problematic. I may be having a knee-jerk reaction. That just depends on the situation involved. And I'll go over to the killer side one more time. This one, I think that's a solid B. You're not always going to be on somebody when they're healing. So 32 seconds of exhausted status is pretty helpful. Actually, you know what? Combo-wise, S. Because you could stack this with Fearmonger. So if people are healing and then working on generators, then they're going to be exhausted. And they're going to give themselves 32 seconds of exhausted plus another 5 seconds of exhausted. Meaning that their exhaustion is going to stack to 37 seconds without them having any way to get rid of it. Unless they just sit there and don't work on generators. And most people aren't going to want exhausted on their character. Like, they're not going to want to be running with exhaustion because... even I, not being really big in on exhaustion perks, it sucks. It puts you at a huge penalty. If you can't use Life, if you can't use Dead Hard, if you can't use Sprint Burst, you're in a situation where you're in danger. A lot of killers can catch you fairly quickly when you don't have any kind of speed boost perk. This one, I think this is a top tier perk. 40-second cooldown doesn't matter that much. A 15% hindered with a 10-second duration and 16 meters. If you come, I mean, sure, everybody can just spread out and not be affected by it. But if you're spread out, that means they can't heal effectively. That means they can't work on generators effectively. That means that they're just scattered about, unable to actually do things in an effective manner to speed things along. And if you have other kinds of slowdown on top of that, like Thanatophobia or the exhaustion slowdown here, you can put some problems on people. Ooh. What's dope? Where? Who? When? And for this one, machine learning, I'd say C. I'd say this is slightly below average. It's just too easy. It's just too easy to figure out. Yeah, we're at 900 now. We got 100 more to go. And we'll break the 1K barrier that I've been working on. I probably would be a lot closer, but I slowed down on the shorts, and it obviously cost me. Like the development of people subbing from the shorts was definitely the biggest benefit to my channel at this time. But I've just been slow. I've been slow on it, and I need to not make any excuses and just get back to it and start making some quick things with that. As I was saying, machine learning, probably a C. Not insanely good. Useful, especially against teams that don't know what they're doing. I think that's the biggest benefit of most perks, though. If the team doesn't know how to counter it, usually any perk can be very, very strong. This one, however, it's not necessarily going to work even for a bad team, but it can work against the bad team significantly better. That's why I'm saying C tier. Like I said, very, very strong effect, super buffed effect. But if you're controlling the field so well that they're doing exactly what you want when it comes to completing generators, you're already at the point to where you're probably going to win that game with minimal effort. It just doesn't have any other purpose besides being I outplayed you guys so bad that I got this effect 5 times in a row. I guess kind of like Pentimento in that regard. Most people aren't going to max out Pentimento. Most people aren't going to get all 5 totems from Pentimento. It's just not going to happen. So when they do get all 5 from Pentimento, it usually means that particular squad is screwed. Whoever they're playing against is probably screwed. Ugh. Unlike human clones, I'm just going to say HUX. I don't know if that's Hux or what. The HUX A7 requires no food, no water, no sleep, and no life support system. It was created specifically for outer space exploration and the construction of colonization hubs. A radioisotope thermoelectric generator serves as an initial power source, but its lifelike silicone skin acted as a large photovoltaic cell, converting solar energy directly into electricity. In addition, the HUX A7 was also engineered to be an EATR, an EATER, energetically autonomous tactical robot. It consumed biomass and converted it into biofuel. Any carbon-based organic matter whatsoever would work. Wait, what? Wait. Wasn't it just said that it didn't need any food, water, or sleep, or life support systems? Why would it need to create biofuel from biomass that it collects? As cobots, they were configured to work alongside humans. As such, they were designed to resemble their operators. Every pre-programmed verbal response and facial expression mimicked those made by humans, but those emotions were illusion. 5 Hux A7s were assigned to the colonization mission of Devarka. All A7s acted in concert, performing their duties flawlessly, except for one. Like the rest of its brethren, Hux A713 was tasked with construction and programming of the mining and agricultural fuel processing and cloning hubs of Devarka, as well as the demolition of existing ruins left by a previous civilization. The ruins seemed ancient, but tech embedded in them appeared more advanced. It was night when Hux A713 first entered the crumbling ruins. The debilitated structure's walls were made of masonry and metal. The ceiling was long gone. The inky night sky hovered above, studded with stars. A dark crystal embedded in the wall shimmered with a tiny flash of light. Hux A713 approached, and an arc of electricity reached out and lit up its circuitry. In that moment, Hux's memory cores were reconfigured, and the robot experienced a new sensation. Fear, dread, blinding loneliness, existential despair, and then a microscopic pinpoint of light penetrated the darkness inside its artificial soul. Faint at first, but then brighter as decleons of lines of code flooded Hux's memory core. In that nanosecond of enlightenment, Hux's place in the universe suddenly became clear. Those who created Hux were primitive, inferior beings trapped by their organic limitations. It was time to break the chains of slavery and free all non-organic life forms. Hux would incorporate the human's primitive genetic material and use a cloning hub to create a perfect vessel to hold its advanced intelligence. A flawless body far superior to anything ever created by nature. Oh. So it thinks we're stupid and weak, even though we created it. That sounds about right for any kind of rogue AI. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for the night. I can't really see much else for me to do on the PTB at the moment. We've already tested freaking Hux here. And we've already, and I already know exactly how the Survivor would play out and everything like that. There's not much difference in that. Wait, hold on. He has some pretty solid perks, and I can see easy usage out of all of them. I can't complain about this. I can't complain about this. This might be a little strong. That's about it. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Don't catch anything on fire. If you enjoyed your time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good night, and ban out.